Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Paldo. We begin in the Twin Cities, where the community is mourning the loss of a senior at Normal West High School. 17-year-old Olivia Sonnets died on Wednesday. She was involved in a car crash Tuesday night as she headed home from softball practice. Counselors and comfort dogs are on hand at Normal West to help students and staff grieving over the loss. Principal Dave Johnson says though some students chose not to attend school for a few days, most wanted to be with others who loved Livy.
This was kind of a place to be if you were connected to Livy, so that you could work through the grief that everybody was feeling.
Her softball coach says, quote, Livy Sonnets will forever be remembered by her teammates and coaches as a feisty, passionate competitor. She was the life of the party, and her infectious personality made everyone smile and laugh. She was determined to become a leader, prove everyone wrong, and never give up. We will live on for Livy. President Trump popped into the White House briefing room Thursday evening and alerted reporters that a big announcement about North Korea was coming. Shortly after that, we found out that the president has agreed to a meeting with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Weijia Jiang has more details from the White House.
President Trump has agreed to a face-to-face meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. South Korean National Security Advisor Chung Eui-yong met with Kim last Monday and delivered the offer for a meeting to President Trump last night.
Kim Jong-un said he is committed to denuclearization. Kim pledged that North Korea will refrain from any further nuclear or missile tests.
The chance for diplomacy is a stunning reversal for the two leaders, who had previously only traded insults and threats of war.
We were on a collision course with North Korea. There was a possibility of a war with unpredictable and potentially catastrophic consequences.
Nicholas Burns has dealt with North Korea under Presidents Clinton and George W. Bush. He says the talks are not without risk.
If President Trump and Kim Jong-un fail in their summit efforts, there's really nowhere else to go. That then could drive us back towards thinking about a military option to stop the North Koreans from developing a nuclear weapon.
There is still plenty of skepticism inside the White House about whether the North will live up to its end of the bargain, which means for now, sanctions against North Korea will remain in place. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
Negotiations still need to take place to determine the specifics of the talks, such as when and where they will take place. That leaves plenty of time for the talks to collapse. The Broward County Sheriff's Office released both dispatch audio and 911 calls yesterday from the fatal school shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School last month. The goal was to create a better timeline of how the Valentine's Day attack unfolded that left 17 people dead. According to the timeline, police entered the school 11 minutes and 15 seconds after the first shot was fired. Back here at home, a late morning pipe bomb situation ends with no accidents and a safe return to work for Pekin City employees. The police department says a suspect was in court Wednesday on meth charges and had a safe in his possession. The case was taken into custody, and when the safe was opened yesterday morning, authorities found a pipe bomb inside.
You hear about this in other places, you see about it on the news, and what always runs through my head is that I know that we have plans in place.
Authorities on the scene gave the all clear just after noon yesterday. Peoria police are getting body cameras later than expected. This comes after several changes within the initial bidding process. Bartonville, Chillicothe, and Peoria Heights dropped out of the initial grant, which would increase prices for Peoria. The department also wanted to consider changing the storage server. As a result, Peoria police decided to rebid the process. Newer, stricter security screening is being rolled out at Peoria International Airport. TSA has adopted stricter carry-on baggage screening and will have to remove the 1-quart bag containing all liquids, gels, and aerosols from bags for separate screenings. Officials say security checkpoints may be slower initially, so passengers are advised to arrive at least 2 hours before their flight. A security alert is in effect this morning for Playa del Carmen, a resort town on the Caribbean coast. It includes a travel ban for all U.S. government employees. As Anna Werner reports from New York, Americans are being urged to exercise caution at the popular vacation destination.
An explosion on a tourist ferry last month in Playa del Carmen injured at least 5 U.S. citizens. Undetonated bombs were found on another vessel owned by the same ferry company less than 2 weeks later. And in January of last year, a shooting at a Playa del Carmen nightclub killed 5 people, including an American teen who was trampled while trying to escape. Over the past year, there has been a dramatic increase in violence in and around Playa del Carmen, according to Eric Olson, an expert on security issues in Mexico.
There are American victims, but they tend to be bystanders, people in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The U.S. Embassy did not mention a specific plot targeting Americans, but Olson believes issuing the security alert was the right call.
There is information that there could be a violent attack in the next few days.
He says 2017 was Mexico's deadliest year on record, with nearly 30,000 murders. In January, the State Department issued a travel ban to 5 Mexican states. Americans visiting other parts of the country, including Quintana Roo, where Playa del Carmen is located, are only urged to use increased caution.
Every time the United States issues a travel advisory, it's got such a negative connotation, there's an immediate knee-jerk reaction for people to cancel.
Canada updated its travel advisory for Mexico, urging its citizens to exercise a high degree of caution. The Mexico Tourism Board insists Playa del Carmen is safe. It tells CBS News the U.S. security alert implies safety issues without any basis in fact. Anna Werner, CBS News, New York.
Government sources tell CBS News a U.S. consulate in Mexico was abruptly closed in response to a, quote, real crime threat connected to warring drug cartels. Meantime, drug users are turning to an over-the-counter medication to get high, and it's one you may not suspect. Peoria pharmacist Bill Kaufman says Imodium, or loperamide, is a medication of choice, and he's not surprised by this trend.
A lot more tighter controls are being done on the pain medications, the opioids, the narcotics. So since there's tighter control on those, people who have been addicted to them are looking for something to get a new high.
Kaufman says depending on how addicted these users are, they can ingest 30 to 400 pills at a time to get high. Meantime, March Madness is again playing in Peoria. Not only are the fans and players excited about the tournament, but the city of Peoria can't wait for it to start. According to the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, the city of Peoria is anticipating to rake in almost $4 million from the tournament. With hotels booked for miles and hungry athletes eating local, this tournament gives a great boost to the economy. Local leaders hope that fans will see how great Peoria is and want to return.
This weekend and next weekend are huge, not just from the dollars generated by tens of thousands of visitors into our community, but also just the opportunity to introduce the community of Peoria to visitors across the state.
A 2-year-old girl is dead after a mirror falls on top of her while shopping at a Payless shoe store. A tragic reminder that furniture tipping over can be deadly to small children. Coming up, why experts now warn parents that precautions should extend beyond your home. That story is ahead.